All right, let's get right into this explainer. Welcome, everyone, to today's session. If you're communicating in an international business environment, precision is literally everything. But there's this one specific grammar hurdle that trips up professionals time and time again, especially in Central and Eastern Europe. So today we're taking a highly focused visual approach to mastering Module 1 of the B1 curriculum. It's the classic showdown, the present perfect versus the past simple. We are going to lock this down once and for all, so you can communicate your professional experience with absolute confidence.
Here is our game plan for today. First, we'll look at a real-world scenario at a Bratislava office. Second, the core technical contrast between the past simple and the present perfect. Third, the difference between for and since. Fourth, we've got our common errors clinic. And finally, we'll wrap up with a rapid-fire final marker challenge.
Okay, Section 1, the Bratislava office. Let's dive in.
So, imagine this. You've got two team managers sitting in a modern office in Bratislava. They're reviewing resumes, chatting about candidates, and naturally, they start comparing their own past professional experiences. Now, in the corporate world, your past experience isn't just history, right? It's exactly what qualifies you for the project you're tackling today. One manager asks, "Have you ever managed a remote team?" And the response? "No, I've never done that, but I managed a local team last year." Notice how the conversation just shifted there? When asking about life experience as a whole, they use ever and never with the present perfect. But the exact second the speaker mentions a specific finished time, like last year, boom, they instantly switch to the past simple. I managed. It's this really seamless dance between general experience and specific historical facts.
Now, what is actually fascinating here is the cognitive leap it takes to master this. If you're a professional whose native language is Slavic, say Slovak or Czech, this specific grammar point is, well, it's uniquely challenging. As our source materials on Slavic linguistics point out, languages in this family rely heavily on verbal aspect. They actually use perfective and imperfective verb forms to show if an action is completed or ongoing. They literally use a prefix or a suffix to completely change the verb itself. But English does something entirely different. It doesn't change the verb to show completion in that same way. Instead, it relies on open versus closed time concepts. And honestly, that requires a fundamental shift in how you think about time itself when you're speaking.
Which brings us to Section 2, past simple versus present perfect.
So, the absolute crucial takeaway is this separation right here. On the left side, we've got closed time. Think of words like yesterday or in 1990. When the time period is finished, the door is closed and the action is securely locked in the past. That is your past simple. I went to the conference in 2022. Simple as that. But look over on the right side. Here we have open time. This is the present perfect. We use this for life experiences where the timeline is still open. Mostly because, well, you're still alive or the time period itself isn't over yet. It connects the past action directly to your present reality. I have visited Japan. See, the exact date doesn't really matter. What matters is the experience you carry with you today.
Moving right along, Section 3, the difference between for and since.
This one is incredibly straightforward when you actually see it laid out. Take a look at column 1, for. We use for when we're measuring the duration of time. It's a quantity, 3 years, 2 months, 5 days. So you'd say, I have worked here for 3 years. Now jump over to column 2, since. Since is your pinpoint on a calendar. It points to the exact specific starting moment of an action. 2020, January, last Tuesday. I have worked here since 2020. It really just boils down to duration versus starting point. Definitely keep this in the back of your mind the next time you're firing off an email update to your team.
All right, Section 4, common errors clinic. Let's fix some mistakes.
Listen closely to these two sentences. I have gone to Vienna yesterday, and I have finished the report 2 hours ago. Okay, I want you to mentally cross those out right now. No, seriously, these are considered fatal errors in English grammar. But why? Because we are mixing closed past markers like yesterday and 2 hours ago with the open-ended present perfect tense. You just cannot put a closed time marker on an open timeline. They don't mix. To fix these, you absolutely must use the past simple. It should be, I went to Vienna yesterday, and I finished the report 2 hours ago. The time is closed, so the tense has to be closed too. Makes sense, right?
And that brings us to our final stop, Section 5, the final marker challenge. All right, here is a quick challenge for you. Take a look at these 4 temporal markers: already, yet, ago, and last year. I want you to mentally sort these into 2 buckets, present perfect or past simple. Where exactly do they belong? Well, let's think about it.
Ago and last year point to specific, finished times, right? So they clearly belong in the closed bucket, the past simple. But already and yet connect to past action to the present moment, meaning they belong in the open bucket, the present perfect. As you head back into your workday, I really want to leave you with this final thought. Whenever you are about to speak about your past, just ask yourself one simple question. Is the door of time closed, or is the timeline still open? Master that one concept, and I promise you, you master the tense. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you in the next session.